Welcome to the Powerful One podcast with your host, Tommy Parker. This college dropout turned entrepreneur and high-performance coach created Powerful One with the mission of sharing the stories of individuals who have divided from conformity and redefined success in their own terms. Join us as we dive into the incredible stories and journeys of becoming truly powerful.
Welcome to the Powerful One podcast. I am your host, Tommy Parker, and today's episode is with special guest Peter Roberts. But before we get into the episode, I just want to say if you are new to the Powerful One podcast, welcome in. And if you've been listening and you really enjoy the content that we post here at Powerful One, be sure to write us a review on Apple Podcasts. That is really what helps move the needle in the podcasting space and continue to become a successful and monetized podcast. That is all I ever ask you guys. Take 2 minutes, write us a review. But now, without further ado, let me introduce my guest today, Peter Roberts. Peter Roberts is an entrepreneur and content creator who's quickly scaling his businesses and content in order to cultivate mass impact and value. He is a college dropout who left the business and financial world to bet on himself. His passion is to help share his businesses and content with the world to help others follow their dreams and live to their highest potential. From starting a landscaping business in high school to selling on eBay and much more, Peter's success is continuing to prove why betting on himself was the right move as he looks to impact the world with his content. And in this episode, we talk about the virtue of patience. Peter talks a lot about entrepreneurship, dropping out of school, the hardest parts of entrepreneurship. He talks a lot about self-belief, positivity, what it means to audit your time. Peter also talks a lot about his content creating and what you can do to create content that's authentic and has value, his other different entrepreneurial ventures, overcoming what people think, how to live a life without regret, Peter's morning and nightly routines, and finally, how to set and achieve goals and follow your gut. So here it is, guys. Amazing episode with the powerful Peter Roberts.
Powerful One podcast listeners, what is going on? I am joined today with Peter Roberts. What's going on, Peter?
Tommy, what's going on, man? It's always a pleasure to see you. How you been?
I've been really good, man. We were just catching up a little before the podcast. And Peter and I have known each other for a couple years now, and we were in the same class at community college. And I was just drawn to him, right off the jump with his energy. I mean, sense of humor, like just similar in that sense as well. But, as we both kind of started furthering in the entrepreneurial journey, we just had a lot of alignments and a lot in common. So yeah, man, I just kind of want to bring you in where we kind of met in college and what your mindset at the time was and what you were really looking to do versus obviously where you are now. And so we can get into that, man.
Yeah, right on. So I remember sitting in class, man. It's just crazy that I remember we sat next to each other. I think you're to my right. We reconnected. And I think like consciously we were both there just enjoying class. But I felt like deep down we both had something in common that we wanted to relate on. We just didn't know why we were there yet, but we knew that deeper down the line we're going to find paths. And it's crazy to think like for me, I was in college thinking about like all the opportunities that I passed on, tore my ACL in college, couldn't enjoy the D1 experience, was working in community college. And then I felt like I never really found myself until I started becoming an entrepreneur. Now, for me, I was an entrepreneur at a young age. And then what I found at community college is when I really started my lawn and landscaping business. So at the time we met at community college, I was running and operating a small lawn and landscaping business. And it was like crazy because we were learning about business. Terry was our professor.
Terry, shout out to Terry. She probably listens.
Yeah.
Shout out Terry.
Exactly. She actually called me to do landscaping for her. And she paid me more money for my tuition, that job. And I was like, okay, why am I actually here? So like deep down, I knew like this was probably not the best scenario for me. But at that time, it was hard. I was going through a relationship. I was going through a lot of things where people were telling me that this is the best decision for my life. And I was always stuck in that mindset. I never wanted to venture out. And moving on after college, I found that my true passion was to become an entrepreneur, to run my business. And over time, it was a grind in community college. Like we were going to school, we were doing a thing, but we both had bigger plans, I feel like. And for me, my business started to take off. I started to see new opportunities. I began to get really educated in my life. And it was just a huge turning point in my life after that sophomore year. So it was crazy connecting. And I think we both had a lot of experience, a lot of figuring out to do, but we were just both, in class doing the right thing.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's really cool the way you said that all. And we related to a scary degree in terms of like both had injuries that ended our collegiate sports careers, and we had aspirations of, Division 1. Both had some relationship stuff going on, both really in that same kind of, we felt like this was the path that people told us we should be doing. And so we were kind of doing it. And it seemed like for both of us, that kind of next year was really kind of the beginning of starting to really figure out who we were and what we wanted. And so talk about what that looked like after that, man, after we had kind of met and, we went our separate paths for a little while, and we stayed in decent communication. But what did the next kind of step after we met in community college, and you knew you had that kind of entrepreneurial journey, but there was still some stuff going on, man? Talk me through what that next process and step looked like.
Right. And when you're sharing this, I'm thinking about something that I didn't know at the time, and you probably experienced at the same time. Is it's like the virtue of patience. You're so overwhelmed, you're stressed. For me, I always knew I wanted more in my life, but I didn't know where to take the next step. So looking back, I'm so grateful that I'm not injured, but as well as we stayed at home, we went to community college, because this time of this reflecting on yourself, that loneliness that I experienced, gave me a lot of time to think about really what I wanted to become in life. And I'm so glad that I had that opportunity. So after that community college experience, I went on to the University of Maryland. I got into the University of Maryland Business School. I posted on LinkedIn. I felt like a badass, man. My ego was telling me that you're going to be a successful business guy. But deep down, I knew I wasn't meant for this. Now my parents told me, it was a good idea. The people that I looked up to said, hey, get that 4-year degree in business. And I knew, like, it looked great on paper, but I knew when I went in that class, not only was I running an eBay business out of my college dorm, paying for my dorm, and making more money than I was at college, and I was running a lawn care business. We're doing around $3,000 to $4,000 a month just out of my college dorm selling on eBay. What I did is I realized that maybe this was not the best step. So the coronavirus hit. I got a huge internship in the financial services. It was the top internship in, I guess, in the world. They'd say it's a top 10 internship. Northwestern Mutual, selling financial products, was a huge deal, corporate America, and I felt like this was gonna be the next step. So I figured, I don't know if I want to go to college, but I'm working in this financial industry that could change my life. Everyone that told me in this corporate environment said, hey, you're going to make a lot of money. It doesn't matter if you're really happy, just come in 9 to 5, work hard, call as many people, and just bust your ass, and you're gonna make money one day. And I felt like this next step in life was another thing that was just a red flag. So that patience, that time when I saw going to college was a red flag. This new career that I'm supposed to do was a red flag. At the end of the day, I was still finding ways to make money online and finding ways to still run my lawn care business without telling the company that told me not to work for another company. So basically, I was secretly working for myself while trying to run a financial service business. And then it just was a big turmoil of me always working. So I kind of experienced new paths and kind of going to school at University of Maryland. And then eventually when COVID hit, you probably experienced, there was new change when I decided that school's not for me. So my next step that I'll kind of lead you off with here was dropping out of college was a huge move in my life.
Man, it's
Yeah.
really crazy, and again, so many parallels, man. But I'm just fascinated. I remember I was in Florida during COVID. Got a call
Mhm.
from you about
Yeah.
Northwestern Mutual. I was like, not Peter, not
Yeah.
Peter. No, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm really curious, man. Both being dropouts turned
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. I'm curious, two kind of main things, man. First, what were some of these entrepreneurial journeys that you were already undertaking? What did those look like for you as they started getting built? And then when you dropped out, man, I'm really curious around your mindset of that, and where you were at in terms of knowing or thinking
Mhm.
about the success you were potentially going to have, and everything such as that.
Yeah, right on. So the mindset that I'd say, well, I'll jump into kind of why, because no one just becomes an entrepreneur just to try that they want to become an entrepreneur. For me, I just feel like it's been in my DNA since I was young. I remember earliest selling stickers that my mom bought home, shoveling snow, raking leaves, doing whatever I could to make money for myself. I worked on a farm once and I realized I can cut lawns and make more money than I did that week in one day. And this kind of just triggered my brain at a young age. Now, ever since then, I've just had that knack to want to build something for myself. Now, that fear kind of came of what happens if I just work in a corporate environment, I build someone else's empire and I leave my empire, basically to shit. And that was a big fear of mine. So what I did is I was selling on eBay. I was generating income online, which was a huge, really eye opener for me that you can make money online. Secondly, I was scaling my lawn and landscaping business. I had this little small business that I started in the back of my dad's truck. he said, there's no way you're going to start this business. I grew to trailers, commercial mowers. I had guys working for me, and it really was just starting to grow. The problem is I came to a point where that business was growing so much, but I couldn't feed it with my time and energy because I was now spending all this time and energy studying some BS business course about analytics that's not going to help me grow a business. That's not going to help me make more money in life. It's not going to help me follow my purpose or passion in life. But yet I was just in that environment. And I asked myself, why am I in this environment? So I eventually just said, hey, enough of this. I have a few other things that I'm working on. I was starting a social media business as well. So I'm just always just had my hands in something new. So I had 3 businesses I was kind of operating, trying to go to school. And eventually I was like, why am I going to go to college? Like that piece of paper is not relevant for me. And lastly, reflected on that mindset. Probably the hardest thing. Actually saved the little dropout thing. It's because it's not so hard, but it was hard for me because I knew that there's a conversation that my parents would have to tell my friends or my family that Peter's not going to be in college anymore. And because people don't, and you know this too, people don't know exactly what you have on your heart. People don't know exactly what you're chasing after every damn day. And people don't know why you're waking up at 5 a.m. to take cold showers because I'm getting chills, man. People don't know that burning passion, and that can't be replicated on a degree. So that was the hardest part, was opening up to the people, the friends that thought they knew who I was. They knew that I worked. I'm not just going to be out there trying to sell things, because they know that you have some type of work ethic. But the problem is I felt like letting my parents and friends down was the hardest thing that I faced dropping out of college.
Man, it's incredible. And I get the chills as you're speaking about it too, man, because, it's one of those weird dynamics, right? Because we just want our family and our parents and our people to be proud of us, right? I think
Yeah.
the greatest gift, the greatest thing I've ever received is my dad saying he was proud of me after, a year maybe of my entrepreneurial journey. And I just remember that was like validation, like I'm going to keep on this path. And so that's such a tricky dynamic that I think people don't think about sometimes, is like, you're going to get the scrutiny from somebody, man. Ideally, if you have a good support system, that's great, but most people don't, because you're undertaking something that's so uncommon for the generation ahead of ours. And so I'm just curious, man, what that kind of looked like when you dropped out. How did you kind of shift that mindset to just stay focused on yourself and really just be consistent, and also just where the support what systems were around you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to my self-belief. I had a few things working for me. Like I had the business to follow on. I had to plan if things didn't go well, like I knew I still had some type of backlet. Everyone said get a degree because you have some type of fallback plan. But for me, my biggest fallback plan was myself. I knew deep down I was going to find a way. I found a way when it came to starting my business. I've always found a way when it came to sports, and I just knew that I'll find a way to make this happen. And there was never a time of hesitation. I knew I've always wanted to do this, but like we talked about earlier, we push off those hard things in life. And I was like, enough of this. I actually read an article by Jason Capital. It was like, it was about like something about dropping out of college. I was like, he's right. Like, why am I wasting my time? If I spent this time focusing on this degree and spent that directly towards or starting a business or working with things that I really want to, then you're going to see real results in your life that'll make you so much happier. And it's crazy to think like that, because now what is it, 4 or 5 months ago when I dropped out, now I've seen how much time I've spent developing the things that I actually want to do in life. Not only am I happier, not only am I living every day like this is like the best. Every day is absolutely incredible. I don't dread going to school. This stuff, like, I can't make up. It is truly amazing what my life has come to from this one decision. And it was the hardest decision. People still don't know why I'm doing it, but deep down I know exactly what I'm doing. And I never question myself the moment that I kind of just cut it quits. And I don't want to keep on carrying on here, but I just feel like so many people our age are struggling with this. A lot of the stuff that I share with my content is about this, because people have come to me, my friends, my closest friends, the people that I really love in my life, say, how are you so happy? How are you so energetic all the time? Why do you just feel like you're fulfilled in life? And I said, well, what is the thing that you're spending most of the time doing? Do you enjoy it? And most of them's like, we're in college trying to get my degree. I'm like, do you want to work in that industry? Do you love college? Is this something you're passionate about? And the instant answer is no. It's stressful. I hate it. I'm just doing it because my parents want to do. And I'm thinking to myself, there's your answer. But you just can't. You just have to make the right decision. But so many people, what you teach is absolutely so powerful. Some people just follow that same line that leads us down a path of destruction, a miserable life, and we just can't get out of that because we don't have enough courage at our heart to go follow the path that we really want to do.
No, it's so good, man. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you go so well with the idea of powerful one, man, which is just dividing from conformity, living life on your own terms so that you can bring that back in and be able to show other people that they can do the same thing.
It's this I feel like we need to make education like this more and viral, not viral, but it's just that whole environment. I hate to be one of those guys that just demonizes college, because I think it's perfect for a lot of people that, are traditional, that want to follow their past. But I feel like a lot of people have not unlocked their true potential in life, and more important, their happiness. Because it's not about how much money you make, but the society, your parents, all these people are telling you, focus on how much money you make. You apply to a job, let's say this, and the first question your parents or someone's going to ask you is, how much you're going to make a year. It's not about, do you like the work? Are you passionate about that industry? Do you want to continue to work for this company? It's how much you're going to make. And I've just met so many people that are fulfilled with $50 to $20,000 a year, that people I've worked in the financial industry that are making over $200,000 a year, that are miserable, going through divorces, broken up, have no faith, have no money in their bank account. They're making $200,000 a year. It just, money is not the answer. And I wish so many people could just realize it.
So, going off that, man, what's another piece of advice that you would give somebody to help them start to become aware to the life that they want to live versus the life they're living? I mean, clearly it's the awareness, right, of knowing that you want to be somewhere and you're somewhere else, right? But what's another way, man, that you have on your heart to help get people? I know that's a big thing for you, is really that drive to help others achieve their dreams and their highest potential and be able to live a life that they really enjoy. So talk about other ways that you're trying to be able to do that for people.
Yeah, I think when it just comes to like making a different decision in life, I think for me, what has really changed my life is the concept of auditing your time. Now, for me, there's so many distractions, there's so many little things, there's so much things you got to catch up on. And honestly, the people that you don't want to be like are taking so much time out of your day. For me, I'm getting so many calls, let's go to the bar, let's go drink, let's go do things. You're 22 years old, you got to do these things. But if you're trying to have real results at a young age, but I think age is not a determination of how much success someone should have. You have to be auditing your time. And for me, I've had to say no to a lot of people. I found myself not chasing relationships as much as I would as a 20-year-old. I found myself so distracted by trying to chase women, trying to go to bars to hook up with chicks. And I found that my purpose was leading, because not only was that time being wasted on someone that's not going to better me in life, I knew that the next day, when I'm hungover, when I'm doing things that are not going to change my life, is going to set me back another day. So this whole spiral of just focusing on every minute, every time, and just trying to stay productive, but also enjoying the moment, has really changed my life. There's so many distractions. It's so easy to swipe, to scroll, and it's just, we have to, especially at a young age, we have to just watch what we're doing, and just focus on which. For me, I try to spend as much time focusing on what I want to do every day, and the results come the more you focus on those things in life.
I love it, man. And I know you've gotten into a big thing for you is content creation, and we'll get back to more of your other entrepreneurial journeys. But
Yeah.
I want you to talk about finding a love for content creation. Talk about the type of content you post and really the message behind all your content.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Today's actually been a huge day for me. Especially, I just fell in love with content creation. So I was inspired by Gary Vee. There's probably some people in here. Shout out Gary Vee. But
I never heard of her. What? No, I'm just kidding.
but yeah, man, I fell in love with content creation. When TikTok came out, I was like, this is the platform that I'm gonna go for. I posted a few videos. People gave me hate. I didn't even know I wanted to be a content creator, but I was posting the wrong things. I was posting the things like everyone else. And now I was focusing every day as part of my goal to create 3 pieces of content. And now I took an account from 0 followers to almost 225,000 followers on TikTok in less than a year. And this is all just showing my time and attention on building this brand on social media. So what I teach and what I'm really passionate about is helping people, discover entrepreneurship. There's so many opportunities out there that people can make money with, and I'm really kind of just elaborating on ways to make money in your teens, as well as how to start saving, how to start investing, how to start developing great habits in life, and more importantly, trying to make great education go viral. There's a lot of stuff on these platforms that are just diluting our human knowledge, that are just making us lesser and less smart human beings, and are making us less aware what's really out there. There's a lot of nudity, there's a lot of sex out there, there's a lot of drinking, partying, that is not going to actually advance our life. And I figured, let's share content that's going to help someone, let's help someone grow. And more importantly, I just feel inspired to help produce content that's going to hopefully change someone's life. And someone asked me, what is like the reason, why do you even produce content? And honestly, the followers are cool. That was a goal for me. But now I just genuinely love it. I love the DMs. I love that someone says, "Hey, you helped me make an extra 25, 100, $25 this day today, selling on eBay. Now I have gas money." People send me this stuff, and I'm like, this is priceless. So that's kind of my content and my journey and mission behind what I'm sharing out there.
And that's the thing, man. Like you said, it's not BS content, right? Like people post, dance videos and they'll get the likes and the subscribers and stuff, but you're posting, how, about stock markets, about how to, be able to go to a thrift shop and sell stuff on eBay. Like you're posting complete value ads. And so you're really changing the landscape slowly of really, young people and what they're, interested in, or at least like what they can see that they can have an interest in, man. So talk about some of these other entrepreneurial journeys that you're embarking on, content creation, your landscaping business, you're doing eBay selling. Talk a little bit about that stuff, and then feel free to jump in on, it looked like you had something else.
Yeah, so I can go on for days, but yeah, actually, I just recently partnered with a tree company. So I'm bringing my landscaping business directly into a tree service. So now we're kind of just growing our landscaping business through this tree company, and it's been actually an incredible transition. Secondly, my main passion is through content creation. Now I can't believe I can actually share this, but everyone used to, I remember the first time I posted on TikTok and people used to hate on me. People can't get through that whole judgment aspect. But for me, I knew deep down, this is what I love. I'm going to continue to do it. Now it's crazy how when you actually get real results in your life and you know what you want to achieve, people start clinging. People are like, no way, you got that many followers. How did you do it? And I don't mean to come off from an egotistic standpoint because I don't want to do it, but it's more like a fuck you for trying to hate me back then, but now you're trying to ride my coattail when I have a little bit of something now. So this has whole been a new transition. And I honestly want to help those people that hate on me because I don't want to have any hate, misfortune for them. So I've able to maybe actually grow a TikTok business. Like I don't want to bring finances into it, but not only through the creator fund, but I'm actually getting brand deals through my TikTok right now. A little over $1,000 this week was made just to post content on TikTok. Now, I just want to share that with people because it's insane the power of social media. And the businesses I want to continue to share with you guys and this my audience is that you can make a living on this platform. The internet is the new way for people to change your lives. You don't want to go down that traditional path in life. You want to go work in that cubicle one day. Well, post content about the things that you love and help some people, provide as much value as you can. And that's a business in itself.
That's really good, man. And it's so cool, man. Like what you're doing and the trajectory you've came on. And I think one thing too, man, is like people will hate on you when you're first starting out, but there is a point, and I know you've probably seen it at this point. I've seen it where people stop questioning you, they stop judging you, they stop commenting because they know you're going to keep pushing through in spite of anything. And I honestly, I don't mind hate. It doesn't bother me. I haven't gotten hate in years, bro, because people know now. When they see that you're going to do stuff regardless and you don't care, you have those blinders on and you're going for what you want, they really will start to, like you said, come on board and stop the hate and the judgment. So, if you're somebody listening, like push past that initial thing. But, off that, Peter, what's some advice you could give to somebody who really deals with the expectations of others, what people think? What advice could you give to people who are just really struggling with that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things that I say this world struggles with. And there's even moments when you can even struggle with it too. But like I said, that one unlock moment for me was kind of that dropping out of college decision. Not only was that a huge decision in my life, but this was like a time in my life where I drew a line in my sand. I said, I don't care what people think about me. Now I was loosened up through the content on TikTok when people were hating on me, but I just want to share with people, if someone ever has the time to comment or to say that something mean about you, that means that they're coming from a really insecure place in their heart, that they're really sad, they're really broken in their life. So if they spend time to throw hate on your life, they spend time to comment something rude or to talk shit about you to your friend, then they have something messed up, not only in their head, but in their heart. And that's something you just cannot fix because when you're on your purpose, when you're on your passion and people are hating on you, it's just natural. It's gonna come your way. But one thing that I would say that allowed me to just, not worry about the expectations of others is to just not put other people on a pedestal. Everyone is, human. Everyone eventually has that place in the grave. And one day it's just like, why not give what you want to do a shot? Living with regrets would probably be the biggest thing that would really scar me and hurt me in life. So why would you not do something that you love, that you're fired up about because you're worried about someone's judging you?
So Peter, I'm curious, like we're both content creators, but stepping out of the experience we have for that, what can someone do who knows they want to start creating content to be able to create something that they know is going to be authentic and be able to have a lot of value where it's not just the stuff that they know they're going to post to get likes and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's super powerful because I think right now so much of our self-esteem, our ego is wrapped up in the actual liking of our pictures. And I think some people are having the opportunity to grow a business, to grow a brand, to share their real passions on social media, yet they can't get past the feeling and the anxiety of people judging them for creating that first post. Let's say Maggie has 20,000 followers, all these bikini pics, or John, a random guy who's just ripped up, but he loves he loves to talk about, his dog walking business. The truth is, he would love to produce content about that dog walking business, but he gets all his likes on the abs. Now, I feel like so many people would love to post the content that they really love in life, but they don't want to have people judge them to post what they really want. And I think this all comes down to just having, not your self esteem wrapped up in your likes, but also understand what you want to achieve in life. And everything that you want to post and everything that you're trying to get out there to the world, is it going to help you get to that end goal of what your mission is in life? And if it's not the answer, there's great times to post a family picture. There's great times to get a little bit of validation in life if you need it. But spend this time and use social media as a vehicle that could truly change your life, and get over the fear of people judging you. You're going to feel so liberated. You're going to see that you're actually posting things that make you happy, and no longer are you gonna be upset if someone says you're fat on your Instagram picture, because you know that you're building something for your future and you love content creating. So go out there and just take the step. I think some people want to post things that they just don't want to post, or don't have enough courage to go out there and do it.
That's really good, man. I'm always fascinated when I talk to entrepreneurs, man. Morning routines, stuff that they do that is on a daily basis that really like helps them harness and render success. What are some of those things for you, whether it's morning routines, rituals, certain habits that you've instilled that really help you get to where you want to go?
Yeah, so I'd say in the last year, there's some things that I really did in my life, and not only have I seen some great results, but it's just like, it's a ritual now that I'm going to continue to do for the rest of my life. The first thing that I did that was a habit that came to my mind that I didn't share with you earlier was nightly readings. For me, I used to watch TV in my teenager years, like high school. They're on the TV, go to sleep, scroll on the phone. But like 9:30, 9 o'clock, I'm an old man at heart. I go to bed super early. I'm throwing on my alarm, and then I'm reading the book. So like 20 to 30 minutes every night is just diving into a new book. And I found my love for reading. So that's a little habit that I incorporate into my night routine. But then morning routines, it seems like morning routines are like the greatest hustle porn out there. Everyone wants to know what's your morning routine. But what I love to do is just wake up around 6, have the same breakfast. I think consistency is very important. Oatmeal and eggs, I think that's how I start my day off every day, with a nice glass of water. And then right after that, we're jumping into stretching, something that I never did, something that most people might not be doing, but just give me that day of like having some flexibility, relieve that tension. And also through that, spending a little time, praying, as well as having some meditation while I'm hitting that groin stretch, just to be grateful for the day. And then lastly, before I head off and start checking emails and go to work, is one thing that I've been doing for quite some time now is journaling around 2 pages. And people might not think, what do you write on a journal? And the purpose is for me is not only to manifest what I want to achieve in life, but I want to be reflecting on the goals that I set for myself that week. I want to be reflecting on the goals that I set for myself that day. And that's kind of what I'm doing in the morning journal: gratitude, reflection, prayer, all that stuff's going down on notes, because one day it's going to happen. And I've actually seen the power of manifestation through just constantly working and writing things down, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful skill, journaling, verbal affirmations. And I hesitate to say affirmations because it's a little bit of a like a thrown around word,
Yeah.
but like the truth is, being like the mindset neuroscience guy, the power behind that is very real. And I'll explain it to people listening. And then I want to touch on a few things. But when you are physically saying something out loud, or when you're physically journaling something, the subconscious isn't present, right? Because when you're aware and you're speaking or writing something, you're doing it from a conscious sense. So when you're doing something consciously, there's no ego and there's no subconscious there. So you can have powerful breakthroughs. So you can speak honestly, truthfully. You're not living in your head, right? The ego is what holds us back from everything we want, the subconscious limitations. And when you can write and say stuff out loud, it's like a fish out of water. The ego and the subconscious can't live when you're being conscious and writing something down, manifesting it. So there's so much power in that, man. And I love what you said too about a nightly routine. I don't think that gets talked about enough, man. I know morning routines, like you said, is like everyone wants to know your morning routine, but nightly routines are so powerful as well.
Yeah, I feel like if you end the day well, then it gives you something to start the day the right way as well. Just at that unwind time, I think that time at night is just like you've hopefully worked your tail off. You've done everything you could throughout the day. So just reward yourself with some just rest and just for me, I think going to bed, I think sleep is so important in my life. Like I said, I'm kind of an old guy at 22. You shouldn't be going to bed at 9 o'clock sometimes. But I feel like for me, waking up at 6 or getting my 8 hours of sleep every day is the most important function that I'm doing in my life. Without sleep, my habits are thrown off. Not getting the right sleep. I might not be as motivated to go to the gym. Without sleep, I might not be excited to go to work in the morning. It's just like the power of sleep. I feel like our generation doesn't value sleep as much as we should. But that's something I really focus on. How about you? What's your sleep schedule like?
Yeah, there's this dumb shit out there where it's like sleep is for the weak and all this
Yeah,
stuff. I mean, like, dude, you want to talk about there's more science on sleep than almost anything, bro, about how powerful it is for you. And people who think that, wake up early and go to bed late and hustle and grind, like the whole hustle grind, no sleep mentality is such bullshit, dude.
right.
It's such bullshit. Like there's so much of that out there. So,
Mhm.
my schedule is very similar. Like I go to bed early, I work sometimes in the evenings. But yeah, man, I go to bed early as well. I like to wake up early. I
Mm.
always say, and my dad says, there's nothing productive that happens past 10 o'clock. There's
Yeah,
nothing, unless you're legitimately a night person and you get a lot of your work done. I mean, I don't believe there's much productivity that happens for most people past
right.
10. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the same boat as you, man. I'm early to rise, early to bed, and I like to plan out my day so I don't have all these thoughts that are keeping me up at night. I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this.
Mhm.
Write it all down, get it out there, right? And
Right.
so yeah, definitely similar to you.
Yeah, man, I feel that too. It's just and also with like getting up early too, Grant Cardone, like there was a video he saw, it's just like the importance of rising before the sun. I think that's I mean, it sucks getting up early. I think that's like one of the biggest, tests of the day is waking up early. But if you can do that, then you're setting yourself up for, for a little bit of success throughout that day. It's that thought that you have instantly when you wake up, you hear that alarm clock, it's like, why now? Why right now? It's not even light out. It would be great to sleep in, but it's crazy. You probably feel this too. You get up early and then eventually like 30, 40 minutes goes in and you're like, damn, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I'm up. Let's go on with the day. But in that moment when you're laying there and that alarm clock goes off, you're like, this is the worst thing that could happen to me right now, I don't care how fired up I am about the day. When I hear that alarm clock, there's some times when I'm like, this is not that fun.
Mm. It's
So
so true, man. Like you never regret going to bed early. You never regret waking up early. The only things you regret is going to bed too late and waking up too
yeah,
late. So that stuff is gonna put you in the right mindset for sure, man.
yeah, 100%.
What's some other things you do to really get you in the right mindset? You mentioned, and I know this about you, that you're very obviously doing what you love, but let's put that to the side for a minute. I know you do what you love, which is
Right.
obviously a big factor, but what's some other stuff that really gets your energy up, gets your fulfillment, your positivity, and your happiness up and ready to go and perform at a high level?
Yeah, yeah. So I think something that I definitely focus on is my health. There's so many variables that I experience with the power of movement, like spending time every day for at least an hour in the gym. That hour might be too long sometimes, but I just feel like that just like gets me ramped up. Not only do I feel better, not only am I excited about summer when I take my shirt off, have more confidence in life, not only I just feel enlightened. I think the confidence like impact of working out and living healthy is not measurable or there's no money that you can put behind it because so many people struggle with confidence. And there might be people listening right now that they can't approach someone or they can't do the things that they want to do. They're struggling with that confidence at jobs and they might even be holding themselves back from getting the position that they want in life because they're not confident in that role. But for me, what I feel like is that confidence is when you love yourself, when you're working out, when you're feeling strong, when you feel like your body's in the best shape. There's so many psychological and also like emotional aspects of increased performance that I experience in my life that are all coming from the gym.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
What excites you the most about where you're at right now in your entrepreneurial journey? You got a lot of different avenues you're going. What's some stuff that really excites you about where you're at today?
Yeah, so one thing that was really stoked, man, is I've been doing a lot of things that have not been getting a lot of results. So that's probably one of the hardest parts about being an entrepreneur they might experience. You're putting all this time, you're trying to measure how successful you are through some type of metric, whether it's views, whether it's followers. And sometimes like this is the best stuff that I'm producing right now, but it's not getting the audience or not getting the right attention. And you're like, damn, I gotta keep producing, I gotta keep grinding. And it's just not getting results that I really think it should. Now that and then now finally I'm starting to see the results that I've been finally working my tail off for with on social media as well as on YouTube. My goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers this month. I just hit that, and this was like a huge opportunity I've always wanted to get monetized on YouTube, not because I want to make money on the platform, because I feel like this is an opportunity for me to create some financial freedom in my life, and it's a platform that I can utilize. And now I've finally seen the thousands of videos that I posted are now finally starting to go a little bit of viral. They're starting to get more attention, and now it's all literally coming together. The business is doing well. The social media content is starting to get its attention that it deserves. Brands are finally reaching out to me, and this was all stuff that I wrote around 6 months in my journal. I literally told me I want to find ways to get monetized. I want to start, and it's like crazy how I'm focusing all my energy, attention, and like it's absolutely I'm literally so blessed that I'm seeing these results. Like I'm so grateful for what I'm doing. I mean, there's been a lot of sacrifices that have to come with this, but honestly, it's just like, wow, it's actually there shows me there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel after all this hard work, you know?
Absolutely, man. And the theme I noticed from you is the consistency. And so,
Mhm.
what do you do? I've known personally that you've had subscriber goals on TikTok and YouTube, and I'm sure monetary goals. How
Mhm.
have you managed to stay true to your goals and build that consistency and really achieve your goals? So I'm curious just about that goal setting, what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think just with goal setting, I think it's more of us like I just have that drive to just prove my I just know I can do this. Like I know I can build this brand. I can help a lot of people. And I always get like thoughts of like late night sessions where I'm thinking about me myself, I'm visualizing myself out there and just helping so many people, and I'm like, this is what gets me going. That's like really what I'm inspired about. But what I would say, what helps me achieve these goals is every morning is this tracking those goals. On the whiteboard behind me, I have some metrics that I want to hit that I make sure I'm tracking. A simple little hack that I love to do every week: track some of the followers, make sure I'm having consistent growth, because if I'm not having growth, I'm doing something wrong, so I have to change something. But if I'm seeing growth consistently, then I'm doing something wrong, then I'm doing something right. Secondly is in the morning routine, I also spend time writing about the content I want to have. I think the biggest part of, getting and growing on social media and having some results is planning for the success. Some people want that success, want to see these numbers being achieved. But if you're not planning and doing the proper planning, then they're not just going to show up on your front door and say, hey, it's time for you to hit this goal. The planning and the tracking are the two things that I'm consistently doing, and the drive that keeps me motivated, to make this all kind of come true.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Especially that tracking. I don't think enough people
Yeah.
get that, man. Like what you measure grows, and
Mhm.
when you can get feedback and when you can have, tracking of what stuff's gonna go, I think that there's a lot of power to that, man. I really love that. What is something, man, that you could give the listeners just as a piece of general life advice that you've learned? I mean, entrepreneurial journey, college dropout, right? Like, and I don't want to say former, but like athlete, like you've done all these different things.
Mhm.
What's one of the main takeaways in life that you could give to the listeners just to really hit home?
Yeah, man. I'm thinking of we're washed up now. We're washed up.
We are watching former
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah, funny. But what I would say is, what came to my heart was, just follow your gut. I feel like, you might have heard this, but deep down exactly what you want. You know exactly what your life wants to be like. And right now, you know that you might not be in that situation. I knew for the longest time in my gut, you probably experienced this. This is not where I want to be. And create a game plan. For me, I always thought I wanted to, there was a time in my life when I dropped out and thought I was going to become a cop to be like my brother, to please my parents and kind of drop the business. But I was thinking that I was journaling and I was writing, do I actually want to do this? And my gut told me no. And this was like the best thing that I could have done, is because we all know what we want to achieve. But the problem is we're not just willing to take that first leap.
Oh,
So,
that's so good. That's really good,
yeah.
man. What can people expect? Speaking of content, what can people
Mhm.
expect if they come tune into your page and see your content? What type of stuff can they expect from you and also your content?
Yeah, so if y'all tune into my TikTok, we're gonna be hitting the Renegade. I'm just kidding. We're gonna come into my on the YouTube channel. We're talking about some of the stuff that I'm revealing here. Making money online is something I'm passionate about sharing. Just life advice, as well as personal finance investing tips. Things that I wish I knew about money at a young age. Things I wish a lot of younger kids are not learning about finances in school, throughout college, kind of battling. Everyone makes money, but they're not doing the right things with money, is what I'm really passionate to share with you guys online. And more importantly, just tune in to Smile. I share little tips about, Monday morning motivation. We got some stuff about dating and relationships that I wish I knew when I was younger. Just love a little bit of everything. And more importantly, I hope you guys come to my channel to learn a little bit that's going to help you just grow a little bit in life, when you stumble upon my page.
I love
Yeah.
it, man. Where can people find you, man? Go ahead and plug all your stuff. Where can they find you on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc.?
Yeah, first check me out on MySpace. We're still kicking. But secondly, I go up to TikTok or Instagram, Peter_Roberts01. The blue check will come one day. And then also on YouTube, we're really pushing out a lot of content, about 3 to 4 videos on YouTube. Just look up Peter Roberts, as well as the 3 main platforms. And then one day, me and you, Tommy, we're gonna get into the Clubhouse. We got to get into Clubhouse and build that out. So that's really something I wanted to approach you about. But I think it's a good opportunity to help, inspire and help other people one day.
Yeah, Peter, we're gonna be doing big things together, man. This is the rekindling of a really beautiful alignment, man, to be the powerful ones and to really have people live a life of intentionality and design. So I appreciate you coming on here, sharing your power with everybody, man. So thank you again for jumping on here, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, right on, bro. It was a great time. Always good to catch up with you, and it just a fun time seeing what you're doing and just 2 guys trying to make it happen,
Awesome, man.
Right on.
Peter, we'll get Peter back on in about a year and show you everything he's up to then. So thanks again, brother.
Yeah. We'll see you soon here.
Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. I really appreciate your support, not only for me, not only for Powerful One, but also all the guests on this platform, and just tuning in and being inspired and being powerful, man. So, thank you again if you watched this, and, excited for the future. Excited. It's been a great year for Powerful One. Excited for everything I have coming in the future, everything with the brand, everything with my personal brand, and just everything in general. So just want to thank you guys again, and be sure to, share this if it inspired you, if it felt powerful, if you connected with it, share it with your friends, share the platform. Please go, if you don't mind, go subscribe on YouTube, go write a review on iTunes. All that stuff really means a lot. Thank you guys again, and be sure to stay tuned, because every week we are coming out with a new podcast episode. Stay locked into the page, guys. Thank you. Stay powerful.